Hello and welcome to the Grianaig Creations Podcast. This is episode 76. My name is Kirsty and I am coming to you from an extremely overcast Paisley in Scotland. I'm back. It's been 3 weeks since my last podcast, but in between then I have been updating other videos which I really hope you've been enjoying. I found some of them really fun to record. And it's just something a bit different as well, which is always good. So, I'm a little bit hyper. I don't know why. So apologies in advance if this is a bit all over the place, a bit rambly, and I talk even faster than normal. If I am talking faster than normal and you want to watch but cannot understand, there is on the bar below, you can slow down and speed up the audio or the video in general. So if I'm talking a little bit too fast for you in general and then with my added hyperness, you can slow it down. I hope that helps. Because I don't know how to slow down. I've had it pointed out before that I do talk quite quickly and that can be a problem for some people, and I try to slow down, but it just feels so difficult, like having to focus on how quickly you're talking or deliberately trying to slow down is actually really quite tricky. It's quite tricky to do. So yeah, I'm in the craft room upstairs. I keep getting distracted by the birds. I'm in the craft room upstairs purely because the light is better in here than it is in our living room. And I've swung the chair around. It normally kind of faces this direction. But I've swung the chair around so that I've got a full natural light. Because otherwise, with the way it faces into the room, I would have had like a shadow on quite a portion of my face. And it wouldn't show colours correctly, and it wouldn't look good. So, I swung the chair in. You're sitting on a stack of picture frames on a windowsill, so it's at a reasonable, so it's at a reasonable height, and I am just looking out, well, trying to look at the camera, but I keep looking out at what's outside and getting caught and distracted by birds. We've got a building to our side, and a lot of birds, I don't know if they're nesting or whether they just kind of rest on it. I really like watching the crows, because crows are very smart creatures. They're very smart. And just the way they navigate different parts of the building is really fascinating to me. Excuse me. I have some diluting juice. Because if I drink fizzy juice, I'll just burp. Okay, so today's Friday the 20th of August. I don't know why I stumbled. I second guessed August as I was saying it. But yeah, it's the 20th of August. It is Friday. This has been my week off for August, and what a week it's been. It's not been anything that I hoped it would be. It turns out that I had hit burnout because I had worked 13 days solid. I'd worked the weekends, and I'd done 17 hours over my contracted hours. All my own choice. I put my name down for the overtime. I could have taken it back at any point, but I was determined to do the overtime and get some extra money under Scott and I's belt. And I was meant to do overtime in the last 5 days leading up to my annual leave, and then like just an extra hour at the end of each day. But on the Monday, like even before midday, I was just like, I can't. I am just too tired. I just need to rest and not be at the computer. So we fast forward to the end of that working week, and Scott and I decide that we're going to go down to Prestwick at the weekend. We're going to go down to the beach. It was Baltic. It was absolutely Baltic. I wore a dress, it was very windy. I think I flashed a few people, like obviously not on purpose. Yeah, it was not our finest idea, but it got us out the house. It got us somewhere different at the weekend, and it was nice. It was nice to get out. But I fell off on that Saturday, like I just couldn't fully enjoy our trip away. So that kind of made me question like what's going on, and then I think it was like Sunday or Monday that I realised I'd hit burnout, and I just didn't want to do anything. I had no energy. I was just sitting scrolling on my phone, and yeah, didn't do as much crafting as I wanted to do. Doing like the housework and stuff, that went to the wayside, and yeah, like I was really beating myself up about it, and then some very, very kind people, you all know who you are, kind of were like dropping me a couple of messages like that, stop beating yourself up, like you've got to be much kinder to yourself, just take it easy, you need to rest, that kind of thing. And I really, really, really appreciate those messages, so thank you very much, you know who you are. So yeah, my week off is coming slowly to an end. I still have Saturday and Sunday and then I'm back, but it's been a very quick week. I now see why people take 2 weeks off. Even if you normally forget your passwords to get back onto the systems, but yep. The week was very much needed, even if I didn't do anything I wanted to do or hoped to do. But yeah. I still got a couple of things finished. I've had some things finished for maybe 2 weeks. And then I've just been adding to the list and adding to what I want to make, so like future makes and stuff. So let's stop with the rambling and the pointless chatter, because that's 22 minutes that I've been talking for. 22 minutes and I haven't shown you a single damn thing. I am sorry. So the first thing, so I'm just going to show you some finished objects. And this one's not been woven in, and I need to block it because the centre's gone a bit funny, and I think it's just like the change in wool. But the first one I got finished is the blanket. So it has an I-cord edge. So that's another reason I need to kind of try and block it or steam it, because it's acrylic yarn, so it's not going to block properly. I need to try and set the yarn a wee bit or stretch it a little bit more. But it does have an I-cord edge all the way round. Excuse the chipped fingernails. I'm getting them done on Sunday by my sister, so they'll not look as horrible next time. Maybe. I'm terrible when it comes to having my nails done. But yeah, the centre is a bit ski whiff, so I need to stretch it and see if I can get it to sit flatter. It's just like the yarn in the centre and what's on the edges is, I think, just a little bit thicker than the rest of the yarns that I used. So it's a wee bit pinching in at the centre. And yeah, this blanket was made with scraps of a blanket pack that I got out of Aldi. And the white was just some leftovers that I had from another blanket. So this is a blanket for my second goddaughter, Erin, who is the tiniest and cutest little thing ever. Although Lucy's also dead cute, her sister, so they're both equally cute. But I'm biased, I'm their godmum. So I've got this blanket, which is nowhere near as big as the one I've made her sister for Lucy, but I have a while before I need to make one that big, and I still need to finish Lucy's. There's so many ends to weave in. But yep, I'm really happy that this is finished. I do have the ends to weave in, but I'm probably not going to do that until I've got it stretched out and I can use the clothes steamer that we have, or just an iron, and see if I can make this sit a bit better. So that is item number 1. Item number 2, I actually, I broke my nail. I am really happy with this finished pair. I've made some socks. So along with some of the ones I made and finished in the last episode, I have been picking up and using scraps of yarn to make more socks. So this is a self-striping yarn, and it is scraps of a yarn by the Yarn Badger, who I will link below. And then the black is Rico Designs. I'm sure it's a Rico Designs yarn. And initially I was going to do some surface crochet in the ridges to make it look like checker boxes, or just boxes. But then I just really liked how it looks. You know, I'm so stupid. Like I said earlier that I've been recording for 22 minutes, but it's counting down, not counting up. So I'd only been blathering on for 8 minutes. So, but yeah, I really like how the black has split up the colours. And yeah, there is it's not perfect. Like you can see some of the colours on the next section, but that's absolutely fine. I tried to do it though so that you couldn't see that on the front, and with the exceptions of right on the edges, I pretty much succeeded, and they're matchy, which was definitely planned. Not gonna lie, definitely planned. These are for me, but I made them in a 2.25. No, I did not. I made them on a 2.5, and because it's 3x1, yep, 3x1 rib on the full upper half, and then on the front half it's a little bit baggy, possibly on the verging of just too loose. So my mum's feet are smaller than mine, but mine are wider. So I'm wondering if there's any way that these will fit her. I was meant to take them down today and see, yesterday, and see if they'd fit her. I'm not sure what it is, but some of my socks fit my mum even though her feet are smaller than mine. So we'll see. I might just have them as house socks or something, or just wear them in boots anyway. But I'm really happy with them. I call them my happy socks because of the colour. I've always loved the Yarn Badger's yarns, and they're just something a bit different as well. They're not completely vanilla, and I like the fact that the black breaks it up a little bit. So that is my happy socks. I have, and I'm going to try and hide the colour work a little bit on these, because I haven't written up the pattern and I haven't got it on my blog yet, but I got my pattern socks finished. Oh, that is blowing out of the colour something awful. Wonder if it'll correct. There we go, that's better. That's much better. And then that was the first one I made. So they are sisters and not twins. Why does it look like one's longer than the other? There, that's better. Maybe I did make one longer than the other. I'm so sure I counted my rows. I'll look into that later. But yep, I got those finished as well. These are made with leftover yarns from Trailees. And I'm really, really happy with them, but I am going to try and knit them up again on a yarn that doesn't have very similar tones, and I've spoke about that before. So there's come on camera, you can adjust. There we go. So there's very similar tones in this one to this, and then vice versa. Well, that doesn't really make much sense. There are similar tones in each yarn to each colour. And because of that, it does affect the colour work just a little bit. And so I would like to make up another pair where that isn't a problem. Or like where you can really definitely see the proper colour work. So I need to get semi-solid, or at least a solid yarn, and knit them up, and then I will get the pattern on my blog. It'll be a wee free pattern, but I'm really happy with them. Those were knit on a 2.5mm needle with a fingering weight yarn, and as I said, the yarn that I've used on this pair is leftovers, and it's a single from Trailees. I will link her website down below. And then I will see what I've got in my stash or in my scraps to see if I can make a pair from scrap yarn. But if not, I definitely have solid or semi-solid sock yarn that I could use to make the second pair. Okay, next one. I made a pumpkin. And then I made a bigger pumpkin. It has my hair on it. So I started with this one. I really am in a Halloween mood. I feel like I'm regressing a little bit to my teens, where I was a lot more gothic and Halloweeny. I don't know if that's really kind of like a style or whatever, but I do feel like I'm regressing a little bit. I really want to decorate our house like where it's constantly kind of like gothic and Halloween themed, like all year round. That's what I want this flat to look like, or Scott and I's house. And he's totally behind it. He's totally behind the idea. He just doesn't know where the ideas come from. And we can't afford to buy stupid stuff for the flat just because I have this whim where I want it to look a certain way. And so I was just like, you know what, sack it. I'm just going to make little cute things in the relative style that I would love. And I just happened to have yarn that was very fitting for it. This is leftover Jill Draper's Makes, and this was leftover yarn, including the green, that I made in my... oh gosh, the name's just gone out of my head. It's like literally on the tip of my tongue, the name of that sweater. That's gonna annoy me. Literally on the tip of my tongue. It's in the cupboard as well. Like, I can picture it. I can picture the name, I just can't see it. Anyways, leftover yarn, again, using up some scraps that I used in a colourwork sweater. The orange was the colour work, the green was the main colour, and I just thought it looked so stinking cute that I had to excel it. So this is the second one. I actually only finished this today because I went away to my parents yesterday until today. I didn't get it finished until I got home today, and I'm just really, really happy with them. They're so cute. and I can just put them somewhere in the house and just have this level of cuteness. I know other people might not agree, but I just think they're stinking adorable. I really want to do one where there's like cables. So I have some other kind of like rusty orange colour yarn. Fortunately, I don't have very much of this orange left. But I'm going to maybe make a green pumpkin, and I'm purely basing that on Animal Crossing. Can you get green pumpkins? I'm just basing it on Animal Crossing. But yeah, like I just want to make Halloween stuff and kind of like gothic inspired stuff so that I can start decorating the house the way I want it to without really spending any money. It's a very bizarre idea that I have, and it's making me happy just now, so I'm going with it. But yeah, I've made pumpkins! Okay, that's the last for the finished items. So we're just going to go straight into what I've been working on. And you'll maybe remember these if you've been watching for a couple of weeks, months, that I started the Crochet Square a day. And I fell off the wagon on day 11. Which is in my nature to kind of fall off the wagon. Was it day 11 or was it day 12? Yeah, day 11. And I fell off for a good reason, not because I didn't want to do it, but because I was really annoyed at myself for getting the wrong shape. So initially, I had been making Pentagons when I really wanted a hexagon. And my lovely friend Amy kind of delicately messaged me privately, thank you, appreciated. Was just like, by the way, you're doing the wrong shape. If you wanted to, if you genuinely wanted to make a hexagon, you're doing the wrong thing. And at first I was just like, no, it's okay, it'll work out. But then I really sat down and I looked at it and I was like, these are going to be difficult to join. And I would have to kind of work little segments in the gaps to join the pentagons up. So I sat on it and I sat on it and I sat on it. And I didn't do anything. I ripped out one and made it into a hexagon. And that was fine. But the idea of having to rip out all the other ones. Now bear in mind, I was priding myself in the fact that I was weaving in my ends as I went and dealing with the ends instead of literally having what I have now, which is a pile with all the ends. So I had to, without cutting more yarn, I had to undo all the knots that I had done and undo everything and basically rip it right back to the starting section so I could add in a 6th column. And because of that, I was just sitting on it for ages and I was like, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, I really, really, really don't want to do it. And then every so often I just pick one up, undo it, and then re-crochet it. And then yesterday I was going down to my parents for the night. I seem to do it like every time I've got a week off. It's really, really nice. And I was like, great, let's pop them in my bag. If we get round to it, I can unravel them and re-crochet them. And then it's done. Like, it's done. I don't need to think about it anymore. And I done just that. I think I had maybe 3 done, so I got the rest done last night with the exception of one, which I finished today. And then I tried to use up the last of the yarn and I am just short. So that's where the yarn runs out, that's where I need it to go. So I'm going to undo this one and then just make it into a square that I will put in another blanket. So yeah, these are now all the correct shape, which is going to make joining them a lot easier. And I'm just going to go back to doing it as one a day. If I make 2 a day, that's fine, but as long as I make 1 a day and then add it to my pile, then I'll be really happy because I'll be back on it. I'll be working my way through the yarn. So I'm working through another yarn pack. Hang on, there's things in it that shouldn't be in it. So I'm working through another yarn pack from Aldi, and this is the Earth Tones. Ooh, glare. This is good, so I'm going to get. So rusty orange, coppery orange, mustard, purple. Oh, excuse me. Purple, and then we've got the green. So it's a really nice pack, like really, really gorgeous colours. I had to get it when I saw it. It was $4.99 for 10 50-gram balls. Does it tell you the yardage? The heck was that noise? It's approximately 133 meters. It's 100% acrylic. So that's the purple. And I really... Oh, there's a baby husky coming up the street. Sorry. I get easily distracted. So, I've had this for a while. And then I just didn't really want to start another blanket. And I'm technically not starting a blanket. I'm starting a daily challenge. That's my way around it. So I'll be moving on to the purple next. Like I say, I'll rip this out and I'll make a square. And then I'll put that in another pile. And then we'll add to that over the year. Well, years. Okay. Next up, let's go with this one. I am about to lose my crochet hook. I'm working on a commission. Someone in my work, one of my work friends, has asked me, let's just drop the yarn, has asked if I will work on a blanket for a future member of their family. And I have made a start. So instead of a granny square, I'm doing a granny rectangle. And the baby is due in November. And he's very aware of the fact that it could take me longer to make because they want a sizable blanket. It's going to be like a forever blanket instead of a baby blanket, which I think is lovely. As someone that has made a double for Lucy, and she's 5, I see the benefit of doing a forever blanket. So these are my colours. They're really, really lovely colours. And I am crocheting it in James C. Brett Top Value Double Knitting. So I try and put a bit on this every day because it is going to take a while. Like I try and put like 2 to 3 hours in it each day if I can. I didn't get any time on it yesterday because I was down at my parents'. I haven't worked on it yet today, but I plan to get cozy and comfy and work on it this evening. And yeah, it's working out really well. I'm enjoying it. I am, for the most part, weaving in my ends as I go. See, the ends only start here. And yet that's where the blanket starts. So I do a few rows and then I go back and weave in the ends, and then I'll do a few rows and I'll go back and weave in the ends. And I think what I've got there is what I put on it last time I crocheted. So I'll weave those in before I start working on it tonight, and then I'll work on it, and then the next time I pick it up I'll weave in the ends and put on some new rows. So yep, that's going to be quite a long project because they wanted it 2 meters by 1. Okay, so I don't really know what you heard before my camera rudely cut me off. But it's going to take me a while to make because they want it by 2 meters by 1.5 meters. So it's going to be a really good size blanket. And I have all the yarn for it. I batch ordered the yarn in one go, so that it was all going to be the same colour lot, dye lot. There wouldn't be any issues there, but because it's stripes, it shouldn't be as obvious unless like I'm joining a brand new ball of yarn halfway through the stripe. Yep, it's really nice to work on. It's very soft yarn, and it's just something a wee bit different as well at the moment. Next up, we have what is probably going to be a casualty on the crafting world. Or just my crafting. Nope, don't rub your eye. You get eyeliner on. Small tale of woe. I think I'm going to frog the no heel spiral socks. I am just not enjoying it. Like, at the start it was decent. It also looks really weird. Anyone else think that looks just a bit odd? I know everyone in the group thinks it looks odd because they've all said the same comments about their sock. But yep, I genuinely think I'm going to rip this out and reuse the yarn for something else because I'm just not enjoying the knit. Mostly down to the purling aspect of it. I had to change how I purl the very first stitch in my purl column because I was getting a really, really bad gap. Like, I actually asked on Instagram if anyone had a way around the, I wouldn't call it a ladder, but it's definitely a gap between my last knit and my first purl. There's a really sizable gap, and it was really, really annoying me, and I ended up ripping out the sock like 3 or 4 times. And then someone said, well, why don't you try this? So I can't really show you because I don't have this set up, but when you are doing English style, so throwing, you do your knit stitches as normal, bring your yarn to the front for your purl, and normally when you purl you bring the yarn up and over the needle to purl, but for the first stitch and the first stitch only you bring it under and over the needle, just for the first stitch, and it just means there's less yarn, so there's going to be no gap. And then on the next 2 purl stitches you just purl as normal if you're doing English style, which is flicking. So you knit as normal, and then when you get to your very first purl stitch you bring the yarn to the front, and instead of going over and down you're actually doing the reverse, you're going down and up. And it works really, really well, but it's remembering having to do that on each first purl stitch. And it's just not enjoyable because I have to think about it. It's not coming naturally to me to have to do that purl stitch. And yeah, that's basically the main reason I'm not enjoying it. That, and it's very boring. Because it's 3 knit stitches and then 3 purl stitches, and then every 6 rows you've got to move your stitch. It's a free pattern, by the way, you can find it online. Or I'll link it below. Like, I get that there's going to be people that like it, but I think, as some of us have discussed, because we're doing it as a knit along, as some people have discussed, like, we actually like the heel because it's a break, it's the natural break point in your sock. And I tried to have this as car knitting and it just didn't work. Like, it really did not work in car knitting because I had to look at the sock, which kind of gives me a slight headache. I need to look out the window. It gives me a headache and I get car sick. So I need to look out the window so that I don't get car sick. And because I was having to focus on the sock to remember where my purl stitches were and then remember how to do that first purl, too much work for a sock. Far too much work for a sock, especially if you're in the car. So It's getting frogged. I was talking myself into it. I've talked myself into it now. It's gone. Oh no, you're an avalanche. This one I'm very happy about, but I'm not going to enjoy taking it out of the bag. This is the bag I made. So, the colour's going to get thrown off really bad. It's also not going to come across nearly as good as it is in person. But I am making a second Love Note sweater by Tin Can Knits. Wow, that's not the true colour. Is it going to show it properly? Nope. Okay, so that's really bad colour representation on my screen. Might look better on my laptop, but right now it is not showing you the true colour. But I need to get it onto a longer cable, and I need to try it on to see where it's sitting, because I have worked quite a bit on it. We're past the 6 inches mark, which is where they kind of be like, right, stop for a cropped sweater. And I initially wanted a cropped sweater, but then I thought, no, I'm just going to keep going. So I'm really, really happy with it. I can't wait to have it finished and be able to weight it. The only thing is, working on the 6mm needles is hurting my hands. It turns out I don't get sore hands when I work on smaller needles, like 3.5 and under, but 6mm working on continuously, day in, day out, without going down to a smaller needle, is just a little bit too much for my hands to take. So that's a shame. That's why it's not finished. I was hoping to have it done by now, but I still love it. Really love the colour. I just wish you guys could see it for its true colour. I'm holding it double. Annoyingly, I moved the yarn, but it is yarn to cone. I'll put the details down below under the name of the project and the website to get it to. So it's 100% British yarn, so there is a bit of a scratch factor for me. I'm hoping with the blocking though that's not going to be an issue, and then also if I'm wearing it in winter, I normally wear like some sort of long sleeve top, and I just really, really, really wanted a Love Note sweater in this colour, so very happy. Like, I'm probably going to work on this tonight after I put some time in on the blanket. Yes, that was the noise, and that noise came out of me. Yeah. Oh, I've got the list with that bit of yarn. Okay, that can go in. Oh, don't put the yarn in my juice. I also really need to sneeze. Oh, bless me. Okay. Last work in progress. Does not look like much. I have had a design idea in my head for over 2 years now. I know that because I thought of it well before the pandemic, and I just have barely worked on any designs with the pandemic happening and working and moving and all that jazz. And then I just got sick of waiting for the right time, and I went through my stash because I don't know how much yarn this is going to take, and I went through my stash to find something with at least 2 skeins of sock yarn, and I just basically went, fuck it, I'm casting on. Even though I have other things I should be finishing and should be working on and all the shoulds in the world, I just was like, nah, I'm doing this and I'm doing it now. So it won't look like much, and I'm not going to show it much after, but this is what I have. That's it. I'm not going to say where it's going to be, but it's for around the neck, and it's not what you think either. It's not going to look like this in the end. Well, Most of it's not going to look like this in the end. I'm being cryptic for a reason. But for now, I'm just getting the general shape. I'd like to kind of like work a pattern for it instead of garter stitch, but I do love garter stitch. Do love a good nice garter stitch, the nice squish. So yeah, I'm probably going to work on a few variations of this if the finished piece looks nice and I like it. I'm probably going to look to make a couple of variations. So one with a pattern, one for maybe DK or heavier. Yeah, it's bringing me some joy working on it. It's taken its fair sweet time though. That's just because I've got so many other things to work on. But I just try and put a wee bit in on a time. So I think I got maybe like 3 or 4 rows done last night before I went to bed. So I haven't worked on it too much. But yeah, I'm just really glad to get started on it because like I say, it might actually be longer than 2 years. I'm probably looking at maybe 3 years that I've had this idea in my head. And I don't know, like my projects just kept me from doing it. Like I just don't think I had enough confidence in myself, even though I've got patterns out there for sale already. I think I just lost my confidence when it came to patterns. So I didn't start it and I've just had the idea for ages and ages and ages. And then I saw that someone else had the same shape out very recently, had released something very similar but in crochet, and I was just like, damn it. Like that could have been me. That could have been me bringing that shape out. And it's given me the kick up the butt. Because I can say that I've had this idea for 3 years, but of course no one's going to obviously believe that because I didn't do anything or say anything or take photos of it back then. But there's a lot of birds out right now. I wonder what's going on. I wonder if someone's put food out. So yeah, I'm really happy to finally make a start on it. The yarn band is also on my table and I can't be bothered going to get it, not sorry. But the yarn is really, really beautiful. It's a merino silk. And it's a yarn that my mum gave me. I've got 2 of these. It's a brown silver, if that makes sense. Like there are tones, brown tones in it. But yeah, if you look at it from certain angles, you'd think, oh, that's silver. But it's such a soft yarn, like it's really, really beautiful, and it's because it's got that silk, it's going to be really, really nice around the neck. And yeah, I just can't wait to keep working on it and see it grow and change into the idea that I have and see how we get on, because I haven't worked on it since I had the idea. Like I don't know how the shape's going to progress, so it's going to be really interesting. Do I have anything else? I think that's it for works in progress. So I can show off some things that I have unfortunately bought. I'm not gonna lie, I've been saying I'm going on a spending ban or I'm not going to treat myself to some things and then I buy stuff. It's just what I do. So I got some stitch markers recently. I'm going to put the shop below because I don't want to butcher it and I've tried to say it before and I just can't get the shop name. So this is a narwhal with an ice cream cone. That's my first one. And then I've got a donut with a cat and cat ears. And then I've got a strawberry tart cat, which is just stinking adorable. Wow, you really see how bad my nail polish is. A bowl of Fruit Loops. Come on camera, you can focus. a bowl of Fruit Loops, and then lastly a unicorn frappuccino. So I ordered the narwhal and the strawberry cupcake cat, and then I ordered a mystery bag of 3, and that's where I got the cat donut, the Fruit Loops, and the frappuccino. And I wanted the cat donut for definite. Like, I would have maybe gone back like next month and got the cat donut, but now that I have it, I obviously don't have to. But I did want the cat donut, and I think the Fruit Loops and the frappuccino, I keep forgetting the word frappuccino, are really, really cute. So I'm very happy with my wee mystery bag. I got some really excellent choices. But I definitely wanted the narwhal and the cat. So yeah, again, shop will be in the description box below. I hope you have a look. Her stuff is fantastic. Their stuff is fantastic. I'm not going to assume gender. But yeah, maybe stitch markers or charms. And then I went back down to Fanco Yarns. Apologies, I don't know the owner's name, but she posted about having the 52 Weeks of Socks book, and I really, really wanted it. I think it's such a beautiful book. I didn't try and get it before because it just kept selling out, and it was actually a little difficult for me to find. But I didn't really look too hard, so it's probably my own fault. So I saw that she had it on paperback, and I thought, perfect. And Scott and I took a trip down to Prestwick, as I said at the start, and I picked up 52 Weeks of Socks. This cost me $15.95 from Fanco Yarns. And whilst I was there, I treated myself to the Crafty Weaver, to their tweed sock 4-ply in the Storm Clouds and Rainbows colourway. And this is a very interesting base. This is 66% merino and 34% superwash merino. You get 400 metres in a 100 gram skein. And I just thought the colours were really, really beautiful. I don't know what I'm going to make with it, but I initially was thinking socks, if I'm honest. And that's mostly down to the fact when I was reading the base content, my Mears-Erlin syndrome read the base wrong. It read it completely different. I somehow read that there was nylon in it. But I think I might still make socks in it. You can, like, I don't know why I have such an aversion to making socks with something that doesn't have nylon in it when tons of people do it. Tons and tons of people make socks and there's no nylon content in their yarn. So yeah, I just thought it was such a pretty colour. So you can find the Crafty Weaver on Instagram as the Crafty Weaver 1, on Facebook as the Crafty Weaver, and she has care instructions as well. So that's her tag. I'm just making sure it's in frame. That's why I'm keeking around. So that's what I got from Fanco Yarns. They had some things on the counter that you could help yourself to for free. So I got a 3, are they all from Rowan? Yeah, I got 3 little booklets from Rowan. So I got 4 evening projects, 4 projects for simple shapes. And then Simply Sparkling Round Selects. And then also they had, which issue number is this? Issue 196 of Knitting magazine as well that you could take if you wanted it, which was really, really nice. They had others, but I only wanted this one, and mostly just for the top that's on the cover. So yep, that's everything I got from Vanco Yarns. And then because I love him and I love his yarn, Marcus was having a sale and I got 2 more. I have this one already, but I got another one so that I could make a top. I am thinking either Magpie Tendencies / V-neck magpie or a Mount Pleasant. So that is the citrus colourway. Super bright, super neon, super love it. And I think it would pretty much look spectacular as a Mount Pleasant tee. So I haven't decided yet. It's either going to be one of the Shenanigans patterns or it's going to be a Pip and Pin pattern. And then the other one I got is Disco. I don't have this one already, so this is a new to me one. And again, this is by Fiberpunk, who is Marcus, and he is an absolute delight. So I got those in his sale because I couldn't not. And then, technically I didn't buy these, but I do owe my mother money. Unfortunately, a yarn shop back in my hometown has closed. The lady is 72, I think. And unfortunately, she has decided to close up. Nobody wanted to take on the business. And she just wants to enjoy her retirement, rightly so. And she is basically selling off all her yarn. And my mum went in to see what they had, and she saw that they had some sock yarn. Maybe not sock yarn that you would automatically gravitate towards, but it's sock yarn I have bought from her before, which is the, and I'm going to try and pronounce this, Adriaphil, which is by Azura. Oh no, maybe the Azura is the yarn name, but the brand is Adriaphil. It's Italian. I really don't want to try and do a very bad Italian accent. It is 70% wool and 30% acrylic, and I think it's really, really good for heels, toes and cuffs. So my lovely mammy, my ma, got me 2 in this beige. It is a beige, but it's not coming up very well on the camera. 2 in cream. 4 in grey. Is that the same grey? Yeah, that's the same grey. 2 in a very, very pastel blue-green. It looks blue on screen. Again, it could look very different on my camera. 2 white, 2 blue, and then 2 Kinko Zigzag in black. So this is 100 grams, this is 50 grams. Those are going to be fantastic for heels, toes and cuffs, and I thank her immensely for getting them for me, but I do owe her money, and that will have to wait till payday. So, 5 minutes left. Let's have a chat. I also bought tickets for Perth Festival of Yarn, and I will link the website down below because Perth is not only an in-festival event this year. Perth is also doing an online shop for those that cannot or also are not ready to attend an in-festival event. I myself have no idea how I'm going to be on the day. I'm bringing Scott as my comforter because I recently, and as recently as Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday. I recently had a major anxiety episode and could not for the life of me leave the house, and my best friend ended up phoning me and basically being like, right, we'll do it together. So I already feel very fragile without thinking about travelling. It's really not that far for us, but travelling through and not hyping myself up on the way there and then being around a ton of people. I get anxious enough as it is around people, never mind after a pandemic. So I'm really happy to be supporting the festival again this year. Everyone knows I love Perth Festival of Yarn. I have been a vendor at the events more than I've been a customer. Officially a customer, like I always bought stuff anyway. But I'm deep down, I'm really excited to go, but I'm also just worried. No, not worried, because I feel Eva is going to put in all the correct protections for everyone. It's my anxiety. I'm worried about my anxiety, which I think everyone's going to be. But I'm still really looking forward to it. I'm really excited to start getting things back to a normal for me, because I am struggling to kind of get back out into society. I'm not going to lie. It's been slow going. But yep, I bought my ticket for Perth Festival of Yarn. Scott and I will be there on the Saturday. We got the morning slot, so we'll be there for 10 o'clock-ish, given traffic. Hopefully nothing major. So drop it in the comments below if you're going to be there. I would be really, really good to see you. I will not be hugging anybody. You might get an elbow bump or a fist bump or something, but nobody's getting a hug from me. No offence, but I'm just not there. I'll also be wearing my lanyards to basically be like, please keep 2 meters away, because I have no immune system. I am double vaccinated, so that is not an issue, but I have still got a very bad immune system. I don't have one, so I don't want any germs at all, not even a common cold. This took a turn. Anyway, Perth Festival of Yarn is going to be online and in person this year, so if you're not ready to go to an event or you just can't make it, check out their website as well, because they're going to have some online vendors. So there's basically going to be an online marketplace, which is really good. I'm just trying to think. Scott started his new job. So I think last time we spoke he had a new job. He now has a new job, which is going really well. That's touch wood. So I can report back maybe in a month or so to let you know how that's going. A week today, I'm getting all my hair cut off. I'm getting really upset and sick of my hair falling out because of my medication. And I'm being proactive, and I'm going to get a pixie cut. It's going to be slightly longer on the top, but really short. And then I'm going to bleach it. I should probably bleach it before I get it cut, but do you know what? I can't be bothered dealing with the hairdressers. I'm assuming they would be snobby, but I'm not. Can't be bothered dealing with them being like, oh, you should have come to us to get it done. I'm like, I don't have £80. So I'm going to bleach it. I'm going to go crazy bright colour, and I'm going to love it. And I'm not going to be sad about the fact I can't have my dream hair. Yeah. My hair falling out is a very touchy subject for me. It's emotionally, it does take a lot out of me. But I am dealing with this with my head held high. I'm going to try and just accept that that's how life has dealt me my cards. And I am going to rock having a pixie cut once again. So that is going to be a week away. I will let you see the after result, but this is the before. All my natural waves, these are going to go. And yeah, I have 7 seconds, so I'm going to restart the camera and say my goodbyes. Otherwise it's just going to be far too rude. Okay, so Scott got a new job, Kirsty's getting a haircut. Yes, I talked about myself as a third person. I go back to work on Monday. I've got my haircut on Friday. My goddaughter, Lucy, started school. Oh my god, where did the last 5 years go? She started her first day at primary school. Oh, I feel old. My parents got me into Downton Abbey, or Downton. Do we say Downtown or Downton? I think it's Downton. Yep, they got me into Downton Abbey. We watched 2 episodes last night. I'm rewatching Will and Grace. I also, for the need of my mental health, I'm watching Adventure Time. Do not judge me. I think it's hilarious. Because I know fine well that the writers were probably high when they wrote that program. And I love it. I want to do her house up in Gothic style, but that takes a lot of money and I don't have any. Looking forward to Halloween. Very much looking forward to Halloween. I dropped a ring down the toilet. Not my engagement ring. Thank God. I don't know if anyone's noticed, I wear a pentacle ring because I am Wiccan. And I took both my rings off, went in my shower, got out my shower, went to grab my rings. I hit one of them and it spiraled. It fell off the unit, landed, so we've got a bit like that much porcelain before it starts at our toilet seat. And it landed on the porcelain and just went under the toilet seat. Now I just, before I got in my shower, just cleaned the toilet. Literally just cleaned it. I've never been more thankful in my life. So you could hear it landing on the porcelain. You could see it just slide under the back of the toilet seat. And then nothing. You heard nothing. You were like, right, I get to lift the toilet seat and the ring will just be there. As I reach for the toilet seat, plop. The ring went in the bowl. So, cue me then being like, Scott! He's like, what? I was like, I dropped my ring down the toilet! And he freaked out. He thought I dropped my engagement ring. I was like, no, it's my other ring. And he's just like, oh, that's okay then. Oh, there's a wasp. Please don't come in. So yeah, Scott thought I dropped my engagement ring down the toilet. I hadn't. I dropped my Wiccan ring down the toilet. It still needs cleaned. I dropped it down the toilet yesterday and then I had to go to my parents and I was just like, I will deal with it when I come home. So I'm going to put the kettle on and then just put some fairy liquid in and just let it sit in boiling water. I hope that that's enough. Leave comments down below and if there's a better way to clean a ring that's been in your toilet, which thank God had just been cleaned. But yeah, that happened. We moved our beds, and mostly so that if heaven forbid, touch wood, it never happens, we need to leave the house in an emergency because we are on 2 levels that we can get out the bedroom windows. Whereas before you can only open them and then it would hit the bed frame, so you couldn't get out the windows. So we've moved the bed and we had picked stuff up off the floor and put it on the bed. And then we were kind of making the bed again and I just saw out the corner of my eye a spider scurrying off the edge of the bed. I freaked out and thank God I had brought the Hoover upstairs because I hoovered that sucker up. I'm terrified of spiders. And that was that. Didn't want to sleep in bed that night, but I really didn't want to sleep on the sofa, so I decided to be a big brave so-and-so and got my butt in that bed and I was very squirmy all night. That's probably why I didn't sleep. This got a lot more rambly than me just, restarting the camera to say goodbye. Sorry folks, I'm still a bit hyper. But yeah, I'm probably going to head downstairs now. I think that's the rain starting outside. Probably going to head downstairs now and start editing this, putting it together. Either going to watch Adventure Time, because Scott's on shift tonight and he does not like Adventure Time. He thinks it's ridiculous. So I'll probably watch that whilst he's not in. Or I'll watch Will and Grace, or I'll watch Downton Abbey, because I don't think he's going to like that either. But I also just got into The Discovery of Witches. So I really want to treat myself to the books and read those before I continue with the show. I don't know what it is. If I know there's a book, I would rather read the book first. I'm not opposed to seeing the film or the TV show before I read the book, but I just got really into the show. I've just started season 2. And I just feel like I want to read the books first this time. So come payday, I'm probably going to get those for the Kindle, and then I can read whilst I knit. What else? I think that's it. You'll all be like, thank God. I hope you enjoyed. I really do hope you enjoy. Like and subscribe and all that jazz that I never talk about in any other podcast. Please share the podcast with your friends, because I would really like it to grow. And yeah, I don't know when I'll next be back. Whether I'll do like a wee mini episode next week with my haircut, or if Scott and I go anywhere. And he's not working this weekend, and he's working the next weekend. And we're not doing anything this weekend. I'm going to my sister's this weekend. So maybe I'll do a wee vlog for this weekend. Maybe. If you even like the vlogs, to be honest. I enjoy doing them, but I don't know if anyone likes watching them. But yeah, like and subscribe, all that jazz. Hit the thumbs up, which is the like button. Share with your friends. I don't know, however anyone else normally says it. Probably a lot more elegantly than me, but oh well. Anyway, I'm losing the light. It's probably 7 o'clock. Holy! It's 7:45. I should probably go have dinner. Thank you so much for watching, and if you've got anything you want to let me know about, or you just want to chat, jump in the comments below. You can find me on Instagram as Grianaig Creations. There's the Facebook group on, well, obviously Facebook. Search for Grianaig Creations Podcast group, or I will have the link below. I normally put it on all my episodes, try to. And I also have a blog, which I am trying to post a wee bit more to, but not very regular. But I do want to try and get my patterns on there for free, so that should tempt some people. Yeah, I'm just going to head back downstairs, work on a project whilst editing and uploading this video, whilst watching Adventure Time. I don't know what I want for dinner. You don't care. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really do hope you have enjoyed, and please stay safe. If you're going to be at Perth, I will see you at Perth. If not, you will see me on a podcast before then. Yeah, until next time. Bye!